I mean, think about it. Like, imagine you're in a meeting with someone, and then a new engineer comes in and they have a face full of tattoos. I mean, what would you do at that point? Wouldn't you get distracted? All right, let's talk about tattoos for a minute. And, I understand it's 2020. I have a tattoo myself. And people, generally speaking right now, they're a little bit more open-minded than maybe 20, 30, 40 years ago when it comes to tattoos and what they mean. I think that people are more mindful of not judging people based on their tattoos, but I think there is a threshold. And we're going to be going over these thresholds in the next couple of seconds. But first, if you are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Alex Isidro, and here I go over engineering career advice, sometimes unethical advice. I'm just kidding. And life analysis. So if you like the content, please drop me a like, consider subscribing. And so the first thing that we want to say is that I personally like tattoos. But we have to realize that when we work for a company, we are representing the company, we are working with clients, we are interacting with other people on behalf of whether it is the company or the owner of the company. And so the company is going to give you the rules of whether or not they allow people to have visible tattoos, because there's a big difference between having tattoos and then having visible tattoos. The problem with visible tattoos is that where do you draw the line? And when it comes to tattoos, unless they are for religious reasons, then an employer may tell you to hide them. And they may not hire you based on the tattoos that you may have, the visible tattoos that you have. Because tattoos, let's be real here, tattoos generally mean something to you. But just because it means something to you, it doesn't mean that a company has to allow you to show them or to show them off or show them during regular work hours. And what I mean by this is that it's because tattoos can be polarizing, they can be professional, they can be offensive, they can be distracting. And yes, of course, they also, I think, in my opinion, they induce a lot of prejudice. Because, I mean, think about it. Like, imagine you're in a meeting with someone, and then a new engineer comes in and they have a face full of tattoos. I mean, what would you do at that point? Wouldn't you get distracted? And the tattoos would basically be distracting you from the point they're trying to make. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think I would be able to take them seriously, at least in the beginning and the first impression. And so this is the key, in my opinion. Like, if you have a visible tattoo, I would do as much as I can to cover it, at least in the beginning stages when you start working for an employer. So when it comes to my experience, I've personally worked with people that have tattoos. I've seen tattoos that are literally pretty large, like a whole sleeve, but I've also worked with people that have very tiny tattoos on both, and I've seen them both on male and female. With females, I've seen them on the wrist. They're very, very tiny tattoos, or their forearms. Sometimes I've seen them. I think in those cases, when you are already established and people know you, I think there's no problem in showing your tattoos, unless, and this is my opinion, unless they are, as I mentioned earlier, polarizing or unprofessional, with terrible messages, offensive messages towards a certain people, a group of people, individuals, of course. I think at those points, if you happen to have one of those, then I highly, highly suggest that you don't ever show them, whether it is at a company or we're just talking about engineering career here, so I'm just going to be talking about the company. So the bottom line is twofold. Number one is that the company itself, the company that you work for or the organization that you work for, is going to have standards for dress policy. And so you should follow those standards. However, personally, I've also seen that there's a lot of people that have tattoos that I work for, males and females, and usually they hide the tattoos very well, and the tattoos are not offensive. But if you are someone that is going into an interview, I highly suggest that you hide your tattoos, because they may induce a lot of prejudice. And who knows, I've been reading articles online, and I've seen that depending on the industry that you get into and the company culture, sometimes people are ignored per se when they apply for a job. All right. So with all that being said, guys, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Do you have any tattoos? Are you thinking about getting into tattoos? I personally like them, and I think I'm gonna get another one pretty soon. I have one on my right leg right now, on my right calf, and I'm in those positions where you kind of are like, okay, but I want to get a tattoo, but I don't know what. So all right, so with that being said, guys, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching, and let me know in the comments below if you are planning on getting any tattoos or if you have any right now. All right, guys, peace. Have a good week. I appreciate you. Bye.